the rest of this particular part, this secondary part of all this, that, and the other thing, let us be without the instrument. So perhaps the freedom of my movement in other ways may assist. Alright. A technology that it was one of the reasons why we decided to even bring it up, is this new technology that is designed to eliminate spam calls, telemarketers, unwanted phone calls on your mobile device. Your mobile device. These new answering answering devices, programs, technologies do things like talk to a spam caller, which has a likely chance of being automated itself. It will be calling your phone, and that phone, supposing it has this technology, can do something like tell the spam calling phone that it's being surrounded by sharks, or it's in a haunted house, or some stupid thing with that. Basically, it's designed to fool the caller into thinking the answerer, the receiver, is in some weird dilemma. If the caller is an actual human and hears this, the worst case scenario is a panic on the caller's part, and devotes precious resources to addressing an emergency that does not exist. So, I guess you would say that's a strike against this idea of technology. All for, eliminating unwanted calls. Of course, who doesn't want to not have to answer the phone when it's not for you, right? But you're doing these childish, these immature, these nonsensical things that have the potential for disaster. It's just the equivalent of elementary school kid games, etc., etc. Really makes you question the persons who thought this was a good idea when inventing this technology. You want a practical technology in this field? It's something that makes these spam callers not want to call not only you, or especially worse, if this spam caller, these aggressive callers, are more malevolent in nature, as in a scam, as in a attempt to extort money, identity, your resources from you without your consent. Perhaps technology that can ruin their day, or better yet, just get them caught. Make it so that they don't want to do it or can't do it anymore. You can play with them? Wow, that's a good idea. We can put them out of business. Put the malevolent out of business. Sounds like a better, more effective use of such developing technology. moving on to our next little thing. This has to do a lot more with Mr. Vane. Mr. Vane's observation, which is in InSite's observations. Now, this is not meant to disrespect or downplay any company or idea that is popular, helpful, makes things safer in certain respects, as you will understand as we discuss this. In the 90s, women became more prone to grooming areas of a more personal nature. Things like bikini waxes and the like, such terms, became so much of a mainstream thing that female or hygiene products, beauty products, etc., whatever, were marketed targeting that particular grooming aspect that women in a large population had adopted. Trim that bush. Trim that bush. For men back then, though, the fad had not quite caught on. It was, in so many ways, still, I suppose, looked upon as effeminate to manly men. I don't need to make it look bigger. It's already big. I don't need to be making things all pretty down there for the girls, etc., etc., etc. Of course, when things like this start happening in the adult film industry, it starts catching on in the regular world. So, yes, of course, nowadays, men and women can enjoy the beautification benefits of nether region grooming. For Mr. Vane, this actually started a lot earlier than for most, in the late 90s, at the suggestion of his then girlfriend, who, while they were free, she suggested a trim. This was the only time Mr. Vane let a woman near that area with any kind of blade, in this case being scissors. Only time. After that, he made sure to take care of issues himself, using, since no special equipment was made yet, disposable razors. Yeah, that's a tough guy, right? How many guys out here are willing to put a disposable razor down to your balls? I reckon it's not a jump up and say, yeah, that's something I want to do for most guys. But of course, because of the fashion population trends, there is specialized equipment that is specifically made with this purpose and this safety in our mind. Let's not point out names, but a popular one for helping to manscape things. Well, you get the idea. Wonderful. This is the observation Mr. Vane has about that. Lovely and great, and it's nice that something can be done for safety reasons, etc., etc. But as Mr. Vane would like to express, You don't need specialized equipment when you have balls of steel. That's it. That was the whole point of all this. Don't be a minion, and you don't need special equipment if you got balls of steel.